Madden 20. This may be one of my last cheat mode demonstration of the script that plays out underneath this game when you're playing the console. I may offer a challenge to those who are willing to see it for themselves, or you can just continue to play blindly and think that everything is playing a certain way with regard to skill level and all this good stuff like that that makes people feel good. Um, but it's easy to see. There are two things I can show you on this play that will prove my point. Um, let's look at the play. It's just a simple drag route to the receiver, and he fights his way in for a touchdown. Let's go in and look at who the players are so you can get a better understanding of why I call this as I call it. The offensive player is 17, Emmanuel Sanders. I have no problem with him as a wide receiver. So this is not about against or for a particular player. It's 89 speed, 93, 92 agility, acceleration. Fine. Let's look at the player who's covering him. That would be Jones. He's 92, so he has him on speed. 96, he has him on agility. 94, he has him on acceleration. So he has him across the board with regard to that. This is a top flight cornerback in the NFL. Okay? The cornerback opposite of him is 93, 89 agility, 94 acceleration. And he's covering the other wide receiver. But keep in mind, the cornerback in this situation has the advantage. Ratings-wise, you see it right here for yourself. So there's no debating or doubting it. I hope that I'm dealing with people who will take it for what you see and stop trying to make it otherwise. There is no juke or anything of that nature affiliated with this play. He just comes out, he's running, and then suddenly he bursts out with a speed burst. I get that. But there's more to it than I get that, and I'll explain that as well. I chose to play this as press inside coverage. Okay? So Jones should be playing him inside. Let's look on the opposite side of the field. You see how the cornerback turns out to him? So he's covering basically on the inside of that. And look at how he's being boxed up on his route. Because you can see them kind of colliding on their route up top. And if you need me to help you out with that, we can go right here and you'll see how he's being boxed out, so to speak, from any type of inside move. See the little hand check that's going on? Why isn't that happening with your Pro Bowl cornerback? Becomes a question. Who's faster, more acceleration, and all that good stuff. Why is he playing on the outside of him? Why is he just stepping in space? When, like he's doing some type of, what do you call it? A line dance. He's doing a step, and then he's deciding, oh, wait a minute, I'm leaving the middle of the field wide open, and I'm covering man to man. It's almost as if he doesn't have an awareness, which he does, of what he's supposed to be covering him. I mean, it just makes no sense. But then you get that speed burst. And this happens in the game on offense and defense. And there's another reason why I talk about the ratings being fake and false. All of a sudden, this guy has this big speed. Look at how much distance he obtains by that. Look at that. And it's always the same when you're playing the console. You'll notice this quite a bit when you're playing the console, how it manipulates getting that separation. He's right there, and now all of a sudden he's got about almost 10 yards of separation from a person who's faster than him by 3 rating points, who has better acceleration, who has better agility, and yet he gets that off of just a simple burst. That comes from the game deciding how it's going to play this game out. And it's determined that it's going to score. He makes the catch, and here's the other part where I talk about determination of scoring. And you can judge this from your own game. You get to this point right here. How many times have you been stopped? He gives him a good hit, and yet he still falls forward. I've had this happen when I've had Dez Bryant, the years of playing this game with Dez Bryant, T.O., or whoever. They get stopped right at the goal line. There would be a knee, an arm, something would go down right now. Even with Zeke, when he is tackled at the goal line, something goes down to the ground so that he's cut short. If Cooper, Gallup, are running towards the end zone like this, the same thing has happened. I've had it happen on many slants, and the defender is behind him, and yet they stop him right at the goal line. So you are forced to run a goal-to-goal play. And it's annoying. But that's what the game does. This catch and tackle now becomes more of a stretched out, because you can see him, look how far more he stretches into the end zone off of this play. That's because I got the kickoff first, rolled down the field, and I wasn't supposed to score. And I scored a touchdown. If I scored anything, it would have been 3 points, because that's what usually happens. It's 3-7. That's the 3-7 rule you'll hear me talk about. And once I scored 7 points, the console has to come back and score a touchdown. Because now it's in that mode of getting the lead, because it will receive the kick in the second half. That's the pattern that I've been seeing all year long. And you can't deny the ratings. You can't deny what you just saw here with regard to this player just suddenly bursting out beyond the defense by that far. By this player with better ratings. I would get it if he's right there beside him, behind him. It's a contested pass, or he's tackled immediately after he makes his catch. But look at the distance you have between an 89 speed receiver who does no fake and a 92 cornerback. On what was supposed to be press coverage, you've got better coverage over here on the other side. This is a script. I'm almost certain Samuels had to be given a boost in his ratings to get off and to have that amount of separation. Because you're not going to tell me if this is 89, I have a 94 receiver and he can barely get past the linebacker who's 88 or 87. This is what you're going to see more of in 21. And then again, like I said, the tackle. And I can add another play to that because somewhere along the line, I might end up throwing a slant for a score. And he'll catch the ball at the 1 yard line and be immediately tackled in that spot, even though the guy is tackling him either from behind or the side. He will not go into the end zone. It doesn't matter who's catching the ball. It could be a tight end, could be the top receiver, Cooper, Gallup. It can be anybody. Zeke. Doesn't matter. This is one of my biggest complaints, is that the game is a script. Remove the script from the game. I don't need the console to regulate my game output. If I can score, then I can score. Why am I being penalized for that? I don't do all of the exploits. I play the game in a very sim mode. So I'm not doing a whole bunch of adjustments here and there and here to move down the field. I go by my play. You don't see me using hot routes and sending people on curls and comebacks and slants and zig routes and all that stuff like that. I don't do that because I know it exploits the AI of the game. The game can't handle it. So the only way I can try to get some type of enjoyment out of it is to play it play versus play. Although I know the console is not really running those plays. And I think that's also one of the reasons why it doesn't always display the play that it ran. Maybe there's a setting that will allow that. And if it is, then that'll be a good experiment in this off season. Because it used to show all the plays, but now it seems to randomly only show a play. And even then, it doesn't look like the play that it actually was running. But that's my play that I wanted to show you. It's going to be a tie ball game. And a lot of times on that drive, I'm predicting what's going to happen. When I score a touchdown, I predict how it's going to attack me back. And I'll run a similar defense that I use that's been successful, and then all of a sudden, all of the catches are made. Contested catches are made. Doesn't matter whether somebody's in the face of the quarterback, his throw is made. Everything just seems to go right for it. People just magically get open. I dealt with a 3rd and 14 on this play, and despite the zone, it may have been a little bit of my fault, but I'm not so certain. The guy got open and was able to run that additional 5 yards despite having protect the sticks. So he ran a first down like somewhere within, that would be in between two players like this, after catching the ball like 5 yards back, and then the player was able to run like 5 yards here. Nobody came up and contested him. You're protecting the sticks. Why, when the ball's thrown, why don't your defensive players respond to it as quickly as the console? It's another thing to look at when you watch the plays. Go back and look at the replays. I'm telling you, there's so much about how fake this game is seen in the replay. That's my video for now. I'm going to be working on my Madden backlog of flaws videos, which will focus on, some of them are going to be short, some of them may be long, but I'm just going to point out a flaw in the game that's been here since probably Madden 25 that they still haven't fixed, and for you to look for in Madden 21. Thank you.